afternoon, guys. Just want to make a quick video for you guys about growth versus income trading. Now, so a lot of you guys, I don't think have an established direction for what your goals are with trading. And I think I may have actually left this out of the setting your goals video. So this is definitely going to go in the course under setting your goals. But there are two main strategies behind, what you actually want to do with your trading account. So in the first column, we have growth here. And if you're shooting to grow your account, you are trying to make the value of your account the highest number possible. You're just trying to build that account. Sometimes if you're trading in a Roth, if you're trading in a 401k, something like that, then you're automatically going to be shooting for growth. Also, like in just a regular brokerage platform, you could be shooting for growth. And, your goals here are just to bring that account to the highest possible dollar value and continue compounding your money. There may be a few different use cases for this. Maybe you want to make a large purchase and you're saying, okay, let's build up the trading account as high as possible so that one day it'll be, a nice little cash out that I can use to then go ahead and make a purchase. Or two, you could just be trying to make money. You want higher returns. And obviously the more money you have in that account, the higher returns you can produce with that account. And so maybe it doesn't make sense to be taking money out and you want to go for the growth strategy because, any money that you take out can't be used to continually make a return. That's the growth strategy. And in the income strategy, what you're doing is actually saying, okay, I'm going to kind of level this account out, keep it around the same dollar value and pull money out once in a while, kind of use it as a source of income for myself, right? So two different strategies. You have to ask yourself when you start trading, which one of these strategies, is going to fit your personality or your trading style the best. And, oftentimes you won't know. You can play around with trying to do both. But, by the end of your first month or two, you probably should have a good idea which one of these strategies you're going to want to pursue. So we'll dig into both of them in depth. So the growth, obviously, you're going to be compounding your wealth. So we have wealth. Actually, we won't say wealth. We'll just say dollar value increases potentially exponentially. Right? So that means the more money in the account, the faster the growth rate of that money can be. Although you also have the potential of losing more money, right? So you have 100K in the account and you build it up to $1 million, 1% loss is now 10K versus the 1% loss on the $100,000 account is only 1,000. I'm sure, obviously you guys know that, I'm sure, but it's just another risk associated with the compounding strategy. Whereas, plus or minus 1% on the income side, there's no compounding there. A percent up equals a percent down no matter what stage you're at in the account. Okay, so dollar amount stays stagnant or constant. Whoops, can't spell. Okay. The other one with growth is you're never taking money out of the account. So there's going to be a few implications with that, right? So if you're growing your money in your trading account, you're just continually, trying to make 1% return, 2% return, whatever it is, you're never taking any money out. So you're never going to be able to see any of that money. And that could be a good thing, right? Because you're able to use that money to create a continual return. But it can also be a bad thing, right? You're never seeing any of that income. So if trading is your only source of income, the growth strategy, or even your main source of income, the growth strategy is probably not going to be for you, right? Because you're not going to be getting any payouts. So you need another source of income. And also, you're not going to be able to access the money until you withdraw it. Do wrap text there. All right. So whoops. And so on the income side, you will have payouts. So the trick here is to, and we'll get to that later. The baseline is to have, dollar amount in the account that once you cross that dollar amount, anything on top becomes a payout. So say it's 100,000, build up to 105,000, give yourself a payout, right? So this can be used as a source of income. You don't necessarily need to have another source of income, but it definitely helps to have other money coming in so that you're not directly dependent on your trading income, which will force you to make trades, potentially even when trades aren't there. So if you're trading for income, you're going to be giving yourself payouts. So pretty much just source of cash flow for yourself, right? That's pretty basic there. And so we were just talking about the baseline. So if you're trading for growth, there's no baseline associated with that account, right? So you're never measuring it You're never saying, okay, I am this much above my baseline, therefore, I achieved this much per week. It's always on a percentage basis, right? So you can say, hey, I made 15% this week, and then 3 years down the line, once that account is 10 times the size potentially, you're only measuring your performance in percentage, right? Because it's not fair to yourself to compare yourself trading it with $100 and expect yourself to make $1,000 a day on that, versus you trading with 100,000. So there's no baseline for the growth. Really, all you're doing is compare percentages, and then your goals are going to be in percentages, not dollar values. For the income, you can get a little bit more dollar value with it. You're gonna have a baseline amount. So say it's 100K. 100K. Maybe every time your account goes over 100K or whatever your baseline is, then you're gonna pay yourself to make the account go back down to 100K. So pay yourself whenever you cross. Whenever you cross the threshold. Also, it does make sense to potentially have goals equals $sign or percent sign, right? You could have and or, because if you're trading with 100K, 1% is $1,000. You could potentially keep that $1,000 a day goal because your baseline's not changing, right? You're never scaling that account. You're always paying yourself when you go over, and therefore you can, compare a dollar amount. So it's a little bit more reliable in terms of saying, hey, I want to pay myself X amount per month. Therefore, I got to make X amount per day, which is X percent per day. So it usually winds up being somewhere around 1 or 1.5%. That is the high end of feasible, depending how high you go. So pretty much all you're doing is just once we go over the baseline, cut yourself a check, take your account value back down to the baseline. If you ever drop below the baseline, you don't cut yourself a check. You wait until you scale back up to the baseline, and then when you cross over the baseline again, then you can start cutting yourself checks again. That's it's definitely risky because there's no guarantee. Obviously, trading, nothing is guaranteed with trading, but if you don't ever cross over the threshold, you'll never make any money. But that's the same thing with any trading. If you don't make money trading, you're never going to be able to pay yourself. So that's the risk with trading, as always, but it's a little bit more, it's a little emphasized with the income strategy. For growth, in terms of taxes, you don't have to worry about taxes until the end of the year, because all of that money is staying in the account. So you never have to like risk, hey, do I have enough money to pay my taxes? Do I have enough liquid cash to pay my taxes? If you're continually pulling money out of the account, right? So it's say you pay yourself 10K a month, but you only have 100K in the account. You paid yourself 120K throughout the entire year, and then at the end of and you spent all that money that you paid yourself. You didn't reserve any for taxes, and then your 1099 comes and your broker's like, you owe like 30K in taxes. You have to take that out of your broker account, which is going to automatically whack you down to 70K, which is going to take you a lot longer to build that up to the point where you were at the baseline, the 100K baseline. So my advice is this: as you take money out of your trading account, only then will you set aside money for taxes, right? So if the money's not leaving your trading account, you can pretty much assume that at the end of the year, you're going to pull it from your trading account to pay taxes, because you want to keep the tax with the income. So if the income's coming out of the account, take the tax out as well. So if you take 10K out, maybe put 35% of that into a tax savings account, and then at the end of the year, you pay your tax from the tax savings account. If you're not paying yourself at all, if you're doing the income strategy, if you're doing the growth strategy, you're not paying attention to the income at all, and you're just keeping that money in the account, you're going to keep taxes in the account, withdraw at the end of the year. EOI. And then on the income strategy, keep taxes with withdrawal, with paychecks, I guess. Keep 35, I'd say, to 40% in a tax savings account. And a lot of you guys are from Canada, and the word tax savings account means it's tax free. This is something different. This just means it's an account or some store of money, of cash money that you are saving to pay tax with. And then, you know, if you save extra, you get extra on top. If you don't save enough, you got to pull out of your pocket. You got to find some way to pay it. Yeah, so that's the basic gist of the growth versus the income strategy. If there are any questions about this, please let me know. But I think it's very important to establish which kind of trader you're going to be early on in your trading career. I am an income trader. I pay myself from the account. My baseline right now is about 70,000. It was at one point 100,000, but you know, I need some money to move some money around for some other stuff. As you guys know, I have businesses and you know, getting ready to pull the trigger on some real estate. So that money had to come out, and you can change your baseline. Pretty much the moral of that story. But yeah, my strategy is the income strategy. I think it's the most feasible way, unless you have another source of great income where you really just want to grow that money, or you're trading it in a tax advantaged account, meaning you're not going to owe taxes year over year on that account, like a 401k, like an IRA, something like that, you know, where you have the advantage of not having to pay taxes. It does make sense to keep that money in the account in order to utilize those tax savings advantages. All right. Let me know if you guys have any questions on this. Really excited to get after it with you guys this week, and I'll talk to you guys soon.